Hi, so I'm gonna do a demo. Here's my line drawing of a pear. I'm heavy-handed naturally, and this is on cold press watercolor paper. It's that Han Mula cold press watercolor paper, 9 inches by 12 inches. And here's my pear. I didn't feel good today, so I couldn't go into my studio, so I had to use a makeshift palette. But I had some gouache paint at home. So here are my gouache colors that I have. And I'm using like a little takeout plastic box. And the only brush I had on me was the size of filbert. So I do not recommend that. I recommend having different size brushes, but I did not feel good and I still wanted to make this demo for all of you. So really be mindful of dipping your brush, the tip of it, in the water. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to squint. Now there's gouache dries dark naturally. So you have to work on that, and you work on it in layers, but you're direct. So there's no way that I can make a complete painting of this pear. I can show you the block in of the start, but you would have to develop it further. So I'm going to start with this area and this color. I'm going to take a little bit of this yellow ochre. And it's a little tacky, so then I just need to dip again the tip of my brush. And then I'm squinting, and I'm going to take a little bit of this blue, and I'm going to mix the two together until they're solid. Well, now it's a little too blue, so I got to dip back into that yellow ochre. I need more yellow ochre. Let me dip my tip of my brush again in the water. And now I'm making this into a solid. See how it's a little thick? It's a little tacky. So it's a little thick still. Now, if you want to use it thickly, then that's good. But I don't want to use it that thick. So I took a little more water. This is good. This is half and half consistency. Now I'm loading my brush. Now I'm looking at the shape of that area. It's too dark. See if I can go back in. It takes time to mix color, so don't get impatient with the process. You really need to have a lot of patience. It's not immediate. Let's see, take more of that color. Okay, this is the color I want. And the paint isn't tacky, so that's good. Okay, so now it is wet, but it's not too terrible, so I'm just going to go over it. Now see, I'm using the edge of my filbert, and I'm applying it planerly. You can't approach when making a gouache painting the same way. Like, that doesn't make any sense, because every time you come to a painting, it's going to be different. So it's up to you. I want you to squint, and I want you to interpret the surface. Like, again, this is how I'm interpreting it. So I did that dark area. Now what I'm going to do is make up some lighter areas. Take a little bit of that color, not too much. I don't have all the colors I need because this is what I had at home, but it's getting you I'm naturally heavy-handed, so let's see how, so I'm holding my brush pretty close, but then you can hold it back further. This needs to be more yellow, but I don't think that. I like filberts. So if I had more of my colors, I would take much more time mixing and getting it closer to the color that I want. But see how, like, I take my time with mixing my paint. I went over my line drawing, but it's no big deal because you can go back into your drawing. I'm not, so you're drawing with your brush now. You don't want to paint the same brushstroke in the same direction because it's going to be flat and odd. You want to look at the form, like, see, I notice it goes that way, like, so that'd be a cross contour. Linear there. Gouache is a flat medium, so right now this is looking flat, but, and again, gouache dries darker. So when this dries, you can, like, if I had all my colors, then I would just go back into it and just take my time. So that's my, but I want you to squint. I want you to interpret the surface. Try holding your brush different ways. Okay, so this is my dirty water, so I'm going to clean it. I'll take a picture of this too. So the next thing I want to do, oh, okay, so I think this like gives you an idea about like brush strokes and laying it down. It's not, I don't, it's up to you to make the gouache painting from beginning to end, and I can give suggestions. I don't have all of my materials on hand because I didn't feel good, but I really want you to squint. I want you to look at the different surfaces of your object, and you can tell what's transparent, what's opaque, how am I going to interpret, like, you know, when I lay paint down, like the brush stroke, you know, I want you to be really analytical and take your time, don't rush, and try holding your brush differently, try different pressure. You just have to do it. All right. Thank you.